Alright, so I have one more requirement here. What if I want to select checkbox only with option 2? Okay, based upon this option 2 only I have to select. How can you do that? One thing is just to go and spy here and write direct export to select it. But if you want to accomplish in another way by writing that dynamically, so today we are asking to click on option 2. Tomorrow I may ask you to click on option 3 or option 1. Every time I may give unique checkbox to click. In that case, if you want to make your code cleaner and generic without hard coding, then you can use this same for loop and you can put condition. If that checkbox is option 2, then only click and assert. Okay, that's the concept. But how would you put condition whether this checkbox is option 2 or not? Any ideas? It's simple. Now if you try to spy here, you have ID, value, name, type. By seeing this, it's very clear that that checkbox label is represented as value attribute is option 2. Okay, so if we can able to grab this value attribute and check if that value attribute is option 2 or not, then you can go and click on it. Now for first one it is option 1. So when we read that value attribute is as option 1, then we don't do that. Only we do that when it is option 2. So now our goal is to get this attribute value. How do you get that? Till now we know how to write XPath and CSS based upon attribute, but we never did a scenario to extract attribute into our Selenium code. So for that there is a concept called checkbox. This is our web element, right? Dot get attribute. Of what attribute you need? Value, and that's it. And now this will pull up the attribute. So before I put condition, I want to print it and I will show how the attribute values are displayed for every checkbox. For first time option 1 will be printed and next option 2 and then option 3. So you will see all the values attributes in your screen now. Okay, clear. Now you can carefully put condition that if, make sure you follow code indentation. If you start writing from here, tests will fail. Okay, so this is not the place. Do one tab and then start from there. If equals to option 2, right? Again code indentation comes into picture here. These two now should be part of this if condition, right? So do one more tab, perfect. And now error should go away. Yeah. So if you think that these two steps are part of this if condition, make sure it exactly starts from the where this checkbox word started. You can simply do that with two tabs. One tab for loop, one tab to write under if block, if condition. Okay, nice. So now it will check the condition and only if it is option 2, then only it will click and it will skip remaining options. So in this way you can able to select only selected checkbox. Nice, you see that? Good. So now you understood what is get attribute and how to work on it. Alright. Now same concept can be applied to radio buttons as well. I'm not just duplicating that again, same steps, but nothing different. You can use click and then if it is selected or not, you can still use is selected. Checkboxes and radio buttons are handled in the same way when you are working with Selenium. Now let me write one simple example of handling this radio 3. You have all the attributes. If you want to select all the radio buttons, it's not possible. You just cannot select all at a time. So there is no point in iterating through this for loop when you can't do that. So you need to select only one option, take the attribute and select it. And if you want to check whether radio button is selected or not, you can use same isSelected method. So let me just click on this radio button so that we have some satisfaction that we touched radio buttons as well. Okay, so value is unique. It seems radio button, class, type, all these are common things, because if you spy on another, name, class, type. Okay, let me again use find elements only as a last example to practice. Find elements with XPath, and I would say input when I give name equals to radio button, or even I can say find element by dot name, because all the names have same radio button. Plural. So this will extract all radio buttons on the screen. So this time I don't want to iterate for loop, isn't it? I don't want to click on all. I just want to click on 0, first, second one. Okay, it's when you take everything into list, in 0th index this one will be there, in first index and second index. So instead of for loop, I would simply say radio buttons 2 dot click. That's it. Simple. You need not use for loop every time. You can use index as well. Ultimately this is list, right? How do you access elements present in the list? Did you remember? We have seen in our Python basics like how to handle that list stuff. I don't know where I have written all the data types here. When you take that into list, if you want to get first one, 0th index, third one, this is how you can work. Same thing I'm doing here as well, nothing different. And then you can see whether this radio button of 2 is selected or not. So I'm showing this so that you will know how to select any option based upon index if you don't want to use any for loop. Except. Alright, so let's run this very quick and see if the radio button is selected so that we can move to another topic. Perfect. Checkbox 2 is selected and radio button 3 is selected and everything reported pass, and this is how you handle radio buttons. Okay, so see you in the next lecture with one more topic. Thank you.